For this week's challenge, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to go to McDonald's, grab 2 large Big Mac meals and McFlurries. So we're going to take that cost and then we're going to go to Aldi's and we're going to see if we can do 5 meals. So Monday to Friday, 5 dinners for the value of the McDonald's meal we pick up. So I'll take you to McDonald's. We'll go make the order and then we'll calculate how much we've spent and then we'll go to Aldi's. I do want to try and include a pudding because we're going to pick up some McFlurries. And I will try and include a fizzy drink if possible, because again, with the McDonald's meal, we will be getting a fizzy drink. I'm conscious about waffling, so we're going to get straight on with this one. Let's get to McDonald's and then we'll go to Aldi's and then we'll get home and we'll go over the ingredients, go over some of the rules, and then we can start planning for the week. Got 2 drinks, a Big Mac meal. We went large. I couldn't get a McFlurry, which I wanted to add to the meal. So I've recorded the prices of everything. And I couldn't even get a receipt because they weren't doing receipts. But I managed to film the footage of what the price is for ordering 2 Big Mac meals with a drink and a McFlurry each for 2 people. We're going to compare that for meals for the rest of the week. Right, so I got home from Aldi's. Let's take a look at the stuff we managed to pick up. Really seriously impressed with the amount of stuff I bought for the same price as 2 Big Mac meals and McFlurries. So I've got 250 grams of grated mozzarella. Cheaper to buy for this particular challenge, cheaper to buy grated, leaves me a little bit more money in the budget. The cheapest block of cheese was about £2.79, and this came in at £2.19, just freeing up those extra pennies. I got some soft cheese, which is going to go into a pasta dish. We'll go through the cost of all the items and I'll show you the receipt once we've got it all out the bag. So I did pick up some fizzy drink to replicate having fizzy drink with our McDonald's meal. So I got some peach and passion fruit flavoured sparkling water. A mushroom stir fry. So they had an oriental, a pepper and a mushroom stir fry. Big bag of baby spinach. Wash ready to eat baby spinach. Some spring onions. Some ready to wok Asian green garden medium noodles to go with our stir fry I'll be making, which I'm going to have for day one. I actually think I'm going to have it tonight. I may change my mind once I go through it, but I've got a list of what I want to cook anyway. I kind of went in with a game plan. One sweet potato, a pack of pasta, 500 grams. A bit overkill for this challenge, but this was the same price as a single pack of the micro rice, so I just picked this up. Can never have enough rice in my cupboards at home after a challenge anyway. And I did go 2p over, and if we're only going to use that much of the rice, I think that will counter the 2p over on the challenge. You can let me know in the comments if that's cheating. Picked up some naan breads to go with our sweet potato curry. Some big old onions. I just picked up 3. I could have bought the wonky ones, but like I said with the rice, I'm only cooking 5 even in meals. I didn't need to go overkill. So as much as I went over on the rice, I thought I'll get 3 onions instead of a kilogram's worth. I was going to buy self-raising flour to make a pizza base. I realised that Aldi's have now brought out a pizza dough along with their puff pastry and short crust pastry rolls. So I thought we could make a couple of pizzas. That'd be interesting, make a nice pizza. And to go on top of our pizza, I picked up some mild pepperoni. For cooking up some of the meals, I've got some baked beans on the go, some chickpeas, curry, some coconut milk, a couple of baked potatoes. I'm going to have jacket potato this week. I've got enough cheese and I've got the beans and everything to make some really nice loaded jacket potatoes. Some sauce, some tomato puree for the pizza. Now let's go with the stir fry. I've got some Korean style barbecue sauce with an umami and spicy flavour. I really want to try this because it was under 50p. I'll show you on the receipt. And I thought, right, we can have that with a chow mein vegetable noodle stir fry. These are one of those fake away pack sauces which I've shown in a previous video to make your own takeaway. We used the sweet and sour spicy prawns last time. So I picked up some chicken legs. So there's 4 lots of chicken legs in there for £2.15. I was going to get wings. I was going to get thighs. Thighs cost more. Wings have got less meat on them. So I ended up picking up the legs. So I can actually I can quarter them down for the thighs if I want to. 1 extra large garlic, because I always have garlic in everything. I've got to zoom out. I've got so much food on the go. Finally, because we had McFlurries, I don't think it would be a fair comparison if we didn't have a pudding. So I actually went ahead and got some salted caramel Aldi equivalents of Magnums. And you get 4. So you get 2 puddings this week instead of just the 1 McFlurry each. These look really nice. We'll give them a go. I actually haven't tried these salted caramel ones. I personally think that's quite a lot of food value for money there. I've got 5 meals lined up. And as well as the 5 meals, we've got 2 days worth of pudding for 2 people, and we've got some fizzy drink to add into the mix, and we're going to have leftovers which we can discuss at the end of the challenge. That's enough waffling. Go through the receipt and then we'll get cooking for today's dinner. So the chicken legs are £2.25, the pizza dough was £1.09, the chocolate sticks, so these, £1.79. 2 baking potatoes coming in at 24p each, 59p for the tomato puree, 95p for the onions, sparkling water 55, the specialty sauce, which is the Asian specialties chow mein, was 49, chickpeas 49p, coconut milk 75p, baked beans 27p. Oh, that's odd. Okay, that's me. I got that wrong. So the specialty sauces, this was for 49p. And then the specialty stir fry sauce was 55. So 55, 49. I do apologise. I'll leave that in because we all make mistakes. Naan bread, 69p. Pepperoni, £1.09. The pasta, 41p. Sweet potato loose, 69. Rice, 52. The wok noodles, 85. The mushroom stir fry, 89. Spring onion, 69. Baby spinach, 99. Cheese, £2.19. The soft cheese, 95, and the extra garlic was 37. So that came in at £20.58, and the McDonald's 2 large Big Mac meals with 2 McFlurries came in at £20.56. So I'm 2 pence over. Like I said, let me know in the comments if you think I've failed already, or let me know if you agree with me that we can deduct some of the stuff we've got left over at the end of the challenge. I'm going to allow myself access to some herbs and spices and some cooking oil because I'm at home, and the whole point of this is doing a comparison is if you didn't go out and have a McDonald's takeaway but you went and got a load of shopping in for the week. Enough waffling. I'm going to get this put away. We're going to do a bit of food prep. We're going to have stir fry with some lovely chicken. I can let you know what we're doing this week already because I had it pre-planned. I had a game plan in mind. So the meals we got coming up this week: a creamy tomato and spinach pasta, a vegetable curry, which will be chickpeas and sweet potato curry with rice. We've got some Korean style chicken with a vegetable chow mein. We've got loaded baked potatoes, and then we've got homemade pizza, along with our puddings and our fizzy drink. Right, so we're going to use 2 of the chicken pieces because there's 4 in there and we don't need 2 of them. That'll be enough with our quite a large stir fry. So I've just put some salt and pepper on the chicken and a little bit of cooking oil, a little bit of oil. I'm going to stick that in the air fryer, crisp it up, and then just at the end of cooking, I'm going to add a bit of this sauce, and then I'm going to stick it back in the air fryer. Just chuck these in. So far I'm really impressed with my Instapot air fryer. I've done quite a few meals. I cooked for a fair few people yesterday. Because there's no onion in the stir fry mix of mushrooms, cabbage. Oh, there is onion. Because it doesn't look, okay, I'll rephrase that. Because it doesn't look to be too much onion, and I love onion, I'm gonna have half of one of these big boy onions. I'm gonna add that in with the mix. I'm also going to use up a couple of cloves of garlic. So I go with 2 garlic cloves and half the onion. Dice up the garlic and the onion, ready for stir frying. I'm going to slice the onion into some quite thick pieces. So the chicken's been in for 20 minutes. It does need a little bit longer, and I just wanted to get it crispy before I added some of this sauce over the top. Make sure the chicken's fully covered. Try not to burn your fingers too much, and that can go back in the air fryer. For another 10 minutes. Right, let's get the stir fry on the go. Chuck some oil in the pan. Just using up some vegetable oil. I've got the last of it there. So I've just had an idea. I think I'm going to save some of the mushrooms out of here to go on the pizza tomorrow. Because remember, I've got a pizza base and the pepperoni. So the mushrooms go, wow, look at the size of that piece of mushroom. Mushroom goes really well on pizza. Just leave them there for a minute. I think that'll do. But I do want to use a lot of them in the actual stir fry. But that to me makes sense to have some mushrooms for the pizza. We just stick them in a little tub. Break that bad boy up. Well, that'll do. I'll stick that in the fridge for our pizza tomorrow. Let's chuck in the garlic and the onion to start with. I've added a tad more oil. Right, going to add in the rest of the stir fry. After about 4 or 5 minutes, it started to cook down. I'm going to add in the sauce. Stir that through. And then we've got 2 packs of the noodles. It says you can microwave them or you can just add them into your recipe and cook for 1 to 2 minutes. There's a lot of food there. Do you know what? I genuinely don't think we need the other pack of noodles. I'm going to save that because it comes in 2 packs. And with a whole chicken leg, I think we've got enough there for 2 people easily. Those noodles only need a couple of minutes. I think we're ready to serve. Yeah, definitely didn't need 2 packs of those noodles. So there's extra meal. And then on top of that, we've got our Korean style barbecue sauce chicken. I've just asked Vicky, she wants hers left like that. I'm actually going to have a little bit extra sauce on top of mine. It's going to give it a taste. Really tasty chow mein. But I'm most excited for some of this chicken. And when it's in the air fryer, you get that crispy chicken skin. Absolutely stunning. Very happy with that dinner. I personally think just this one meal is better than a Big Mac meal. But I'm going to take Vicky's into her and I'm going to enjoy my dinner. I will see you tomorrow evening when we're going to make pizza. Right, for our second meal, we're going to make the pizza. So I'm interested to see what these pizza dough pre-rolled on baking paper look like. So it says on here, remove the packaging and use immediately. Unroll the dough and leave on the baking paper provided. Prick the dough with a fork, add your flavouring topping, add your favourite toppings to the base. So we've got our mild pepperoni. We've got our mozzarella, which I need for at least one more of my dinners. So we won't use a massive amount of that. The saved mushrooms from the stir fry. I'm going to add a little bit Italian style seasoning. And we're going to use the tomato puree, which is double concentrate. So it's got little pictures on the actual box. So they've got the mozzarella, some fresh basil, and some passata, which is another option to use. Right, let's get it out, take a look. Now, I like the idea of this because obviously when you go get a McDonald's, sometimes it's because you're not in the mood to cook or you don't have time to make a meal. And then I saw this on the shelf because I was going to go buy self-raising flour and some Greek yogurt to make a pizza base, which will be a video I share. 3 ingredients pizza base. I'll be making that video soon. But I figured with the ingredients I'm buying for the 5 quick easy meals, it's a bit stuck down. So we've got a square pizza, that's for sure. It's not a circular pizza. A few bits stuck to it. Just be a bit careful when we roll it out. Just going to trim the edges down on the paper. We're going to prick it with a fork. Going to move that onto the baking tray. Stick some of this tomato puree into a bowl. Still loads left over. Add in some Italian style mixed herbs. Going to add a little dash of water to loosen it up as well. Not too much. You don't want it to be too runny. Maybe a little bit more. Happy with that? Just going to use a silicone spatula to spread it out. I really like these silicone spatulas because you can get every last bit out of the bowl. Let's spread that out. Happy with that? Going to add a little bit of salt, and a little bit of pepper. Then we can add some of our mozzarella. So I want quite a bit of cheese left over for the loaded jacket potatoes. This is definitely big enough for 2 people. I'd say I've used half the bag, so I'm going to say about £1, probably just under half the bag. So probably say about £1 worth of the cheese there. I should put the mushrooms on as well. I'm going to break these mushrooms up a little bit. I'm going to do half with mushrooms because Vicky says she doesn't want mushrooms on her side. Quite a lot of mushrooms there, but I do love me some mushrooms. And then we've got the mild pepperoni. Quite a lot of pepperoni, so maybe go 6 across each side, I think. I can eat that just like that. I love this stuff. So we've got half, pretty much, well, apart from the one I ate, we've got half the pack of the pepperoni left. And then the actual pizza dough just came in at just over £1. So about £1.50 per person on this homemade pizza. Let's stick it in the oven. It says 15 to 25 minutes. So we'll whack it in. I've got the oven preheated at 180 and we'll see what it looks like when it comes out. Right, pizza's done and it looks glorious. I'm really impressed with how this has turned out. So we've got the side without the mushroom and the side with mushroom. No, I never know how to cut rectangle pizzas. Tonight's turning into a bit of a family affair when it comes to the challenge, because this isn't a budget challenge where it's me eating on a budget. Everyone said they want a slice of some of this pizza, and I'm going to share I called them Magnums then, didn't I? The Aldi ice creams. There's no way me and Vicky could have those Magnums to ourselves without sharing them with the kids, and there's 4 of them. If it was for 2 people, you've got 2 days worth of overriding that, and I'm giving 1 to the kids. Let's have a look at this pizza, shall we? So there we got the pepperoni pizza, the pepperoni and the mushroom pizza, and the pepperoni on its own. Really impressed with that pizza roll. Be quite handy just to have that in the fridge for a quick and easy dinner. Really didn't take long, did it? We just rolled it out, forked it, put some tomato puree. It did say you could use passata, a bit of grated cheese on top, and whatever toppings you want. I think that's definitely another success. So far we've had the stir fry with that lovely Korean barbecue chicken. Now we've got a very large pizza. I think I'm going to pour a drink. Day 2, we've also got our fizzy drink because I wanted to make sure I bought one because our McDonald's came with, I think one was a Diet Coke and one was a Sprite or 7-Up. I can't remember now.
Sprite.
Probably Sprite, wasn't it? Yeah. I've still got some left. I'm going to get everyone to have a go on this pizza. I'll try and get my fat head out of the way. Do you want to try the pepperoni with mushroom painting or just the pepperoni?
Mushroom, please.
Yeah. You just want the pepperoni?
Yeah, I don't want mushroom, I just want pepperoni.
Yeah, so you just want the pepperoni?
Yeah.
Shall I, do you want to try the pepperoni one?
Yeah.
Come here then. This is using Aldi's new pizza bases, so I thought we'd just have a go while you're all here at the same time. Really good?
Really, really good.
Yeah, you like it, Ben?
It's really yummy.
Nice.
Love it.
Okay, do you guys want a bit more?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll sort that out. And also, for day 2, I did mention it to everyone on the channel that part of my... So, do you remember I said to you that I needed you guys to go to McDonald's with me for all the ingredients, and I'm making 5 dinners. I wanted to include a pudding, 4 of the Magnum ice creams. I'm just going to see if they're big ones, just in case we've been duped. Oh no, look, proper size. They're about, I call them Magnums, but they're not. These are the non-branded version. But you get 4 of these for £1.79. You'd be hard pushed to find a single Magnum at a ice cream van for the price of one of these. So we all gonna have one of these. You're obviously eating your pizza, so I'll stick them back in the freezer for a minute. But that's day 2. So day 2 is going to be the pizza. We've got the flavoured water, but we buy this anyway, so we all know what that peach and passion fruit tastes. It's a really nice flavour. And then we've all got ice cream. Thanks, guys. Everyone's a guinea pig again. Do you remember that when you were my guinea pigs with the MRE reviews?
Oh, yeah.
Right, so this evening we're going to have creamy tomato and spinach pasta. I've made a mistake. The mistake I've made is I forgot to pick up a tin of chopped tomatoes. So I'll be honest with you, that was something I planned to do and I haven't, but I can improvise. So I've got the double concentrate tomato puree, so I'm going to add that, and I'm going to add a little bit of the liquid from these cheap baked beans. So the cheap baked beans have always got more liquid in them. Someone did say a good tip. They said if you shake it, you can tell how much liquid is in there compared to the beans. Actually feels like this one's got quite a bit of liquid in it. So that was a great tip. Thank you for that. And another tip someone told me was to add pasta water to your sauce to thicken it. I've had loads of comments from saying that, and I always forget to do it. A great opportunity for me to do it, because we're going to have the pasta cooked first, because we're going to stir that into the sauce we're making. So I'm going to, first thing I'm going to do is chuck in the pasta into boiling water. Get the pasta cooked, and then we'll crack on and prep the sauce. Right, pasta's boiling, we'll keep an eye on that. I'm going to use the smaller of the 3 onions. I want a whole onion. Oh no, look. I hope the other one's not like that, as we'll be out an onion. Genuinely couldn't tell that had gone like that from the outside. Look like a solid firm onion. Right, I can go in the compost bin. The other half an onion saved. Right, fingers crossed. Right, we're good. Right, I'm going to save. I know I cut an onion in half to put it in the fridge with another half an onion, but I just needed to check what was going on with this one, because we were down to that last, because we've just lost an onion. Well, I'm just grateful that all 3 of them weren't in the same condition. We'll just have to take that loss. That happens. It is what it is. It's not like Aldi's put an onion out which looked disgusting from the outside. It looked just like the other 2 firm, healthy onions. Get on and deal with it. Right, let's chop this onion up nice and small. And then we got 2 cloves of garlic. This one's a bit of a tiddler, so I'm actually going to get another smaller one. So we'll have 2 small ones and a large garlic. Just going to grate down the garlic. Still getting lots of questions asking where I got my garlic grater from. I picked this one up in Lanzarote when I was on holiday. But I have got a link for anyone who does want to have a look at one from Amazon. And the one on Amazon comes with a small brush, which I found really makes it a lot easier to take the garlic out of the grater. Drop that in the channel description if you want to have a look. Right, let's improvise our tomato sauce. I want to save a little bit of this because I want to add it to my curry just to give it a bit more of a richer flavour. So we'll save about that much. So this is going to go across 3 meals now. Add some water to this. There's quite a lot of sauce in there, so that can add to the tomato base by just draining it off. Try not to get any beans in there. It won't be the end of the world if we do get a few beans. I don't want runny baked beans in my jacket potato anyway, so that doesn't really bother me that I have to take some out. And then we're going to ladle in some of the pasta water. I roughly want to get it up to the same size as if we had a jar of chopped tomatoes. That's going to be enough. Stir that round. Now the cream cheese is going to thicken this anyway. As you can see, that's not a lick. That's actually quite a thick tomato sauce. Look, not a bad improvise, if I say so myself. Now I didn't allow myself fresh basil from the garden, so I did say herbs and spices. So we'll add a little bit of basil in with the mix. Let's take that pasta off the heat. I tend to give the pasta a quick rinse. Just remove any of the starchiness from it. So we're going to heat up some oil in the pan. And the first thing we're going to cook down is the onions and garlic. I've stuck the beans in a plastic tub because I often get told off for putting tins in the fridge. In with the garlic, using a stiff brush. Someone sent me this brush to help me get the garlic off of the grinder. Definitely makes the job easier. I'm going to cook this through for a couple of minutes. I'll have a quick tidy up. We're going to use roughly 100 grams of baby spinach. Now that looks like a lot of spinach there, but it will wilt down. Right, let's add in the tomato sauce to the onions and garlic. Turn it down a little bit because I just want it to simmer. That simmer for about 8 to 10 minutes. And then I'm going to chop up the spinach. I'm just roughly chopping it up. I'm actually going to use up some of this pepperoni in there as well, so it's going to be a creamy tomato pepperoni spinach pasta. So I'm just going to chop this up as well. This will add to the flavour in the sauce as well, which is cool. I'm going to go ahead and chuck that in while we simmer it down as well. I just randomly decided that to use up some of that pepperoni from the pizza last night, that we'll add that in. A couple more minutes cooking down. It's definitely going to enhance the flavour of that sauce. I'm using a bigger wok style bowl because it's easier for me to stir in and fold through the pasta. Right, with the sauce simmering down for the last 8 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and add in 100 grams. There's 200 grams of the soft cheese here, so we'll just go in and do half. Stir the cream cheese through the sauce. That really thickens up the sauce. To that we're going to add the 100 grams of spinach and let that wilt into the sauce. Got a lovely thick sauce with the wilted spinach. Now we can start adding in the pasta. So I'll add a bit in at a time. Might not even use up the whole amount. Season with some pepper and a bit of salt. Stir that through. I definitely went overboard with the pasta. Probably only needed about half the amount. There we have 2 lovely big bowls of creamy tomato and spinach pasta. We've added pepperoni. Improvised because I messed up and didn't buy chopped tomatoes. Let's give this a taste. The soft cheese gives it that extra creaminess, that delicious, and the spinach gives it a freshness, full of flavour. I really do like the pepperoni in that. I've got some leftovers. I've got a small bowl leftovers. That could be your lunch if you're going to work. And we also cooked way too much pasta. So maybe I'd recommend 250 grams instead of chucking in a whole 500 grams like I did. But delicious. Going to enjoy this. Going to sit down, enjoy this, and tomorrow we're going to have a curry. Right, so we're going to do a vegetable curry. I've got the rice. I'm going to try and speed the process up. What I'm going to do, I have not done this before, so this is actually trial and error. I'm going to steam the sweet potato above the rice, because that way hopefully we can add it cooked but still tender to our curry, because the other ingredient for the curry is going to be chickpeas. It's a sweet potato and chickpea curry. I've got the 2 onions after the onion debacle yesterday. 2 cups of rice, because I think I'm going to end up doing 6 meals now with that extra chicken. And I'm looking at doing fried rice, because we definitely got enough food for it. So I'm just going to rinse and drain off 2 cups of rice. And it's 1.5 with my rice cooker. I've used it a fair few times now. It really works well if I do 1.5 cups of water to every cup of rice. So that'll be 3 cups of water. Then over the top, I'm going to slice and dice this sweet potato. So I'm going to peel it. Because the other option is to boil the sweet potato, but then I'm boiling something in a pan when I've already got steam going on with the rice. So we'll give this a go. I'm thinking I can get away with it if I make sure that I dice the sweet potato into small chunks. Right, so that's the sweet potato diced up, nice and small. If I was doing a lentil curry, the lentils need simmering for a long amount of time. So I would have just chucked the sweet potato in, but the chickpeas can be eaten as they are, straight from the tin. So we're going to try it this way today. So stick in the rice, stick the steam tray on top, add on the lid, and set that to cook. I'm going to chop the onion up. I'm going to put this rice away. You won't be using any more of that rice. That goes back to what I said about the 2 pence over. We've got about 3/4 of the rice left. Do you know what? If I am going to do fried rice as a bonus dish, I'll probably save 1/4 of this, because this will go nice in the rice. Nice in the rice. My veg slicer that I bought from the range, because I'm so used to doing it by hand myself, I forget that I've even got it. Probably not the best purchase, because like I said, I'm not using it, and I actually find it easier to use the knife. That's the onion ready. I'm going to wait on that rice and the sweet potato, and then we can sort out the rest of the sauce, because it's quite a quick and easy one to put together. The rice is cooked and the sweet potatoes have softened lovely. I'm really happy with that. Leave that on warm for a minute, and we're just going to fry down the onions. So a bit of oil in the pan. Relatively new to rice cookers, and I have to say, you can see there that the rice is always perfectly cooked. Right, to the onions, we're going to use mild curry powder, because Vicky's not a big fan of too much spice. I'm just doing 1.5 tablespoons. We're going to go in with 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric. At this point, this is optional, but I'm going to add in a little bit of tomato. Use up the last of the tomato puree. We're just going to fry that off. This is a really simple curry, quick to make. And the options are, so I was considering cauliflower, but we've recently had a cauliflower curry, so I've opted for the sweet potato this week. And the chickpeas just add in that extra protein. But now that's fried off for a bit, we can add the can of coconut milk. Get all the stuff off the bottom of the pan. Mixing all the spices with the coconut. In with the tin of chickpeas, which we've drained. And next the sweet potato, which is nice and soft from being steamed. Turn the temperature down, and we're going to simmer this until the sauce is thickened up, and then serve it over our rice. Happy how thick that curry's got, lovely and thick. So I haven't gone overboard with the rice because the chickpeas and sweet potato is going to be really filling as well. And again, there's loads left over. So not only are we making dinners this week, we're making enough that you could have your lunch as well. And I kept a load of rice over for the bonus meal, so that's cool. That's cooling down. Get that nice, cool down quick, and in the fridge. Let's give this a taste. It's going to be hot. That's really delicious. Not got too much spice to it, but I deliberately done that for Vicky's sake. You could have just added a hot curry powder instead of the mild or the medium. You could add a little bit extra chilli. You can add whatever veg you want to this dish. You can just use chickpeas, lentils. It's a simple, easy, basic recipe for a really tasty curry. In my opinion, we've had 4 delicious dinners from the cost of 1 McDonald's for 2 people. Oh, 2 seconds. I completely forgot that we've got naan bread to go with it to mop up that curry. We've still got an extra naan bread. But there you go. Nice comforting curry dish for day 4. Right, day 5 is going to be a nice and simple jacket potato with cheese and beans. But I'm also going to do the 6th meal as a bonus because I'm going to do a chicken fried rice. So Peyton and me are going to have the chicken fried rice. Vicky and Shire are going to have the jacket potatoes. I'm just piercing the jacket potatoes so that they can go in the microwave together for 12 minutes. And then we're going to finish them off in the air fryer. I'll show you how you get them really nice and crispy. And then we'll get on and do I'm going to stop saying egg fried rice. Then we're going to get on and do the chicken fried rice. And I'll show you both the meals for the end of the challenge. Right, so the potatoes are soft because we've cooked them. They did take an extra 6 minutes in the microwave. Now we're just going to add a little bit of olive oil. That was too much. But I'll share that between them. Now you're going to burn your hands. And then we're going to add some salt. So we've got really salty, crispy skins. These are going to the air fryer. We'll start them on 15 minutes and see how crispy they get. I'm going to get on and make the bonus meal. So we've got the cooked chicken, which we're just going to chop up. So I'll pre-cook this in the air fryer, 25 minutes. Just going to shred this up and we're going to put it into the fried rice. You can save the chicken bones with the bits of chicken on them and they make a really good stock. We've done that in a few videos. I'm going to chop up the onion. This is the last bit of the onion that we saved specifically for the bonus meal. We used 2 more bits of garlic. So 2 cloves of garlic. Stick some oil in the pan. Going to serve half the spring onions up with the jacket potato. That way we can use half of them with the fried rice. If I'd have planned this ahead of time to do the bonus meal, I could have taken a few bits of veg out of the stir fry. Maybe some of the mushrooms and a bit of the cabbage. I normally at the end of each challenge just say, right, this is what's left over. So I'm actually going to try and use as much up as possible for these 5 meals for example, I've got no butter for the jacket potatoes, so I'm going to do something a little bit different with them in a minute once they've crisped up in the air fryer. Chuck the onions and the garlic straight in, holding back the green onions. Then we're just going to tear up the chicken into smaller pieces. I have eaten half the skin, I couldn't help myself. It was slightly salted and peppered skin, and it comes out so crispy in the air fryer, I just snaffled it down. I've left a few bits in there because it does have a lot of flavour in it. Right, to the onions, we're going to add the chicken. And the leftover rice. So day old cooked rice is always better than fresh rice when it comes to doing a fried rice. Run out of soy sauce at home, but I normally have a little stash of the soy sauce you get when you all have sushi from Asda's. So little freebie sachets. So I've added them in. I'm going to add in 3/4 of the spring onions and save 1/4 for having on top. Enough for a couple more glasses of the peach and passion fruit fizzy water. I'll let the kids have these too. You can see that it's starting to crisp up the bits of chicken and some of the rice. I always cook it a little bit longer because I prefer a bit of crispiness on it. Need to serve up. And then a couple of bits of fresh crispy spring onion on top. There we go, chicken fried rice using the extra ingredients we had from the 5 meals. Absolutely delicious. Be perfect with an egg on top, with a nice runny egg, because I always do like a bit of it. I always love an egg with my fried rice. But that's the 6th bonus meal done. Couple of big chimichanga potatoes there. Happy with that. You can leave them in longer if you want them to be even more crispy. Crispy on the outside, lovely and soft on the inside. Well, I don't have any butter, but something that goes really nicely with it will be some cream cheese. So we'll get some cream cheese into that potato. I've got the leftover pepperoni, which I've chopped up, and a load of the mozzarella over the top. And these can go under the grill. Chop up the last of the spring onions. Be careful because the plates are hot, because I put them under the grill on the plate. One of them's been served up with baked beans. Shire's got a big appetite, he's a grown rugby player, so he'll eat all of that. The one's going to have the leftover curry. We can sprinkle some spring onions over the top and use up some of that spinach to go with it. I've got a bit more spring onion, but I can add that on top of the chicken fried rice. There we go. That's the final meal of the 5 with the bonus included. Look at that. Cheesy pepperoni overload in a crispy jacket potato. Oh, that's delicious. That's a really delicious meal. Using up some of the chickpea curry, using up some more of the spinach, and that mozzarella goes really nice. Normally you have cheddar on your jacket potatoes, but the way that's gone in with the soft cheese mixed in with the mash, the soft potato inside the skin, that's delicious. Really happy with that. So that's the challenge complete. There were 6 meals instead of the 5, which I'm really happy about. So we used the extra ingredients to stretch it out. Really impressed and quite shocked at how many meals we managed to make using the same cost of a Big Mac meal and a McFlurry for 2 people. We had the extra pudding, so there was 4 lots of pudding, but I did share them with the kids because I didn't want them to miss out on a chocolate ice cream. We had a fizzy drink as well, which went across 2 days, and lots of lovely meals. For me, one of the standouts and one of my favourites was the pizza. I just really like the Aldi's pre-made pizza base, which you just roll out on the baking paper. Fork it, you could add any kind of tomato sauce to that. You can even add barbecue if you wanted to. Chuck your cheese on and put whatever ingredients you need to. I just think that's really quick, easy, convenient. You can stick it in the fridge and it makes a quick, tasty meal. I really enjoy doing challenges like this. I find them quite interesting to see the different concept between fast food takeaway and cooking from home. Not everything was scratch cooked, and I tried to include a lot of convenience. But at the same time, I think it's value for money. If you enjoyed it, let me know in the comments. Let me know what your favourite meal was this week. Also, if you've got any other ideas or there anything you would have done differently, jump in the comments. I love feedback. If you want to help the channel grow, hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And there's a new hype feature which will, if you hype the video, it will throw it out into the algorithm. More people will get to see it. Enough waffling. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll hopefully see you in a future video. Bye bye.